Okay, so I just got a message from a friend of mine. So uh, I'm going to go ahead and make the third video. So originally what I wanted to do was write down my ideas and concepts, get them on paper, and then get sort of a progression going. My impatience and the fact that this information needs to get out there as quickly as possible has led me to simply just make videos. I'm just going to make videos and just put my thoughts out there. So we talked about money. We talked about how money is being used as a system of control, how it's literally controlling our thoughts and it's controlling our actions. But it's only one of many systems of control. So the systems of control work on our senses, all of our senses. And actually, there's a couple more that are beyond that, but I'll get to those. It is my opinion, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and tell you before we get crazy and before you start getting paranoid and saying, well, I can't do anything. I can't even exist. That's not true. So your sense of touch, your sense of taste, your sense of smell, your sense of sight, and your sense of sound. Okay, all of these are being manipulated, and I'm going to start with sound because it's near and dear to me. It's one of my favorites personally. I love music. Music is the soundtrack to my life. It's life, sound, pulses, and I'll get to that in probably not my next video. Is literally everything. It's everything. I was listening to music with a good friend, and he knows who he is. And I was listening to this bass line, this driving bass line, and I'm super intense. I'm so sorry. And it was almost like it's forcing me to move. I'm like, man, this is like against my will almost. You know, I mean, I want to move, but at the same time, like, do I really want to move, or is the music making me move? You know, and it's such a thought. You know, like it's mind blow. Like, whoa. And I came to the revelation that a lot of music is a lot more than just music. I mean, we talk about alpha waves, we talk about beta waves. Talking about the conscious and the subconscious, and how the conscious can be actually manipulated by the subconscious, and of course the subconscious can be manipulated by the conscious, vice versa. So sound, right? The inflection in your voice, the tone of your voice, music, notes in specific orders. An up and then a down, you know, etc. Okay, so I realized at that moment that music was manipulating us, and I thought, okay, so how is it manipulating us? How are we being manipulated? Well, our perception of the world is based solely on our senses. So how we see the world, how we experience the world is how we perceive the world, and how we perceive the world is literally how the world is. Not, I think, therefore I am, therefore I think. But I think, therefore I am. So you can have control over yourself and not be controlled simply by realizing that it is possible to change your perception. Einstein said that, what was it? Is there any pure thought that the mind is able to furnish beyond sense or perception? And does such, or can such a thought exist? And absolutely, I think so, without the slightest bit of uncertainty. And how this music is manipulating us, the majority of us are awake. I would say anybody after the age of about 25 or so, not everybody, but most people after the age of about 25 have realized that secular music, you know, songs, little jingles that go with, you know, commercials and things like that are a form of mind control. Whether they choose to admit it or not, it is a form of mind control, and it is actually manipulating us at some point. Until we realize, of course, okay, well, this is really happening, and then, of course, we can sort of choose whether or not to avoid those things. But it's still all around us. I mean, it penetrates us. But what it is affecting is our youth. And this is where it gets really scary. This is where you actually should be worried and where we should do something about it. But the problem is that when we act upon this, when we try to tell the youth that there is a problem, and I can't get my little hand motions in, when we try to tell the youth that there is a problem, the sort of Romeo and Juliet situation comes in, where humans inherently don't want to be changed. We want to believe that every thought is unique, that our actions are unique. And teenagers are no exception. Young people are no exception. They want to find their own way in the world. They want more than anything to believe that they are different, that they aren't being changed, they aren't being manipulated. We realize it inherently. Even at a young age, we know that something isn't quite right. Something's missing. Or maybe something's there. And the youth are particularly susceptible to this manipulation in their minds. And I've got 4 minutes left. This musical manipulation, this audible manipulation, is particularly hard to break the youth of because of their sternness, their hard-headedness, their unwillingness to accept being changed. And so by the time they realize that it is happening to them and they have no control over it, or they're afraid that they have no control over it, really is what it is, it has already affected their lives. And it's already shaped the future. And that's exactly how this person, this entity, these beings, whatever it is I don't know what it is. I'll get to that in another video, but that is how we're being manipulated as mankind. Our future is being manipulated, and even the present is being manipulated by us worrying about how to fix the present, that we can't actually take hold and change the future. And that pretty much ends this video. But I mean, it's evident in all of music. It's evident in the Star Spangled Banner. It's evident. I mean, if you look at the words in the Star Spangled Banner, I'm sure that if you look for it, you'll find it. If you actually pick apart music, mainstream secular music, you'll find that certain up and down notes for alpha and beta manipulation will be found in music to get you to like certain things or move towards certain things or move away from other things. And this manipulation is a mass manipulation. And some people have realized that it's happened and are trying to use it. Now, it is a weapon. It is a double-edged sword, just like Jesus in Gethsemane, where Simon Peter cut the servant's ear off. He healed the ear, and then he said, you know, a sword, those that live by the sword die by the sword, right? Now, if we use violence to stop those that are using violence against us, it will inevitably come back on us, right? So how do we break this cycle? And I'll tell you how we break this cycle. We cannot use violence. And in fact, I have a plan to fix this, believe it or not, to actually fix humanity, get us to move forward. But I'm not going to reveal that at this point. My life is already probably in danger. Or maybe I'm just being paranoid. I don't know. But if anybody comes in and tells you that my legacy involves any form of violence, they're liars. My legacy does not form any kind of violence. In fact, I have a very simple and interesting option. But I have some plans in the meantime to combat what is being used against us, and I hope that you'll join me. I hope that we'll be able to make a difference and that we can avoid cataclysm and humanity can excel the way that we believe that we're intended to. Don't let me go off on a trail and let you try to think that this is me trying to manipulate you. This is not me manipulating you. This is me telling you that something is happening. That's all this is a message. I'm telling you that something is happening to everyone. Regardless of age, sex, creed, doesn't matter. You're being manipulated, and you need to realize that it's happening. And whatever it is in your life, it's different for some people. You need to find a way to change that. And that's all. I'm not telling you your God isn't real. I'm not telling you there is no God. I'm not telling you the aliens exist. I'm not telling you anything. All I'm saying is that you're right. We're all right. There is no real right and wrong, and I've got 30 seconds left. That there is kind of a wrong. There's a way to sort of backpedal, but in terms of right, there is only a way to move forward and not stagnate. And I got 15 seconds left, so I'll go ahead and tell you that I love you, and I think that everybody has the ability to change the world. And the sooner we realize that, the sooner we'll realize our true potential.